another edition of Trails of Doom, your host, Glenn Meltroder. And today we are talking about the new Tippmann TMC that I got last week. And I took it out over the weekend and played at Splatter Park's big game with it, and it was really fun. If you've seen the video, it was quite enjoyable. I only had four mags, the mag in the gun, and then 3 in my vest that I was wearing, and there were like 1,000 people at the game, so it was insane. TMC's made on a Tippmann 98 internals. Some of the nice features on it: it's got a charging handle in the back, that's how you cock it, whereas on the 98 you cock it on the side. I like the charging handle, it's a lot cooler. It's got an adjustable stock, and you can go and adjust it to different places you want. I've read that this is the newer version, and I've read that it's got air in stock capability where there's a place where you can put the line. I haven't taken it apart yet to see that, so that's just what I've heard, so that's a rumor at this point. The mag release is right here. Real easy to drop it out. They fall out when you press the button, which is nice. A lot of Magfed guns, they don't fall out. When you press the button, you got to pull them out. The mags are twist to make the front drop down where the ball goes, and you just load them up in there. It holds they hold 20 rounds, but the last round, depending on the size of the paint you're using, for when I was playing, the last round was sticking up a little bit on there. And one thing I've noticed playing Magfed for years is if you have pressure on the balls when you're playing and they're in your vest and there's pressure on that last ball will be deformed when you go to fire it, and it won't shoot well. So when I played, I put it at 19 balls so that the ball was loose in there. There's no pressure on the balls when you have them loaded if you do it that way. And then when you put it into your gun, it hits that button right there and releases the spring, and that's when it gets pressure. So before then it doesn't. So that's a good way to handle your paint, so you can actually leave the paint in the magazine, whereas all the other systems that I've used, they leave pressure on the ball to a degree, and you've got to empty out your mags because they're going to be all dimpled up, if you let it sit for a week or so. So these mags are really inexpensive as well. They come in 2-packs, so you get two of them for $24.95, so 25 bucks. They're like $12.50 a piece, and when you load them up, that's what they look like. So you just put the paint right in there, but you can see there's not pressure on that. That's been sitting in there since the game Sunday, and it's not dimpled or anything, so I could go out and shoot this no problem. Couple of things I did: I changed the barrel on mine to the 18-inch Apex 2 barrel. The 14-inch is too short; it hits the shroud. So if you're going to buy an Apex, get the 18-inch because that's the only one that fits. The size of the shroud inside here is a larger diameter than the TCR. TCR is a pretty small diameter, so you have to use a thin barrel. You can't use the thicker barrels, like the Apex won't fit in it because it's too thick. This is also 98 threaded, so you got to buy barrels that are 98 threaded. Luckily I have a whole bunch of them because I've got tons of 98 variations. But the biggest thing about this marker is the weight. When you're playing all day in a scenario, the weight of the marker, you're carrying around this big old heavy gun, and it gets to be heavy when you're playing. But this thing, even with paint loaded up just like you see, is not very heavy. I'll grab my scale and we'll do an actual weight on it. Alright, so I went and grabbed my scale, and it's 4.10 is the weight on this, and that's with a mag in, with fully loaded paint in it. And I put the stock barrel back on it. That's the stock barrel that comes with it. The stock barrel is really nice. It's well polished. That's what you want to look for when you're looking at barrels. You want to find a barrel that looks like that inside. See how, it's super polished. And that's the key to a decent barrel, is how polished it is. A lot of guys hone their barrels. If you buy a J&J barrel, they hone those when they make them. That's why they're such good barrels for low cost. I run J&Js on a lot of my systems. But I'm a big fan of the Apex system just because I love backspin, but this is a heavier barrel, so let's see what it weighs with that on it, because they just have a lot of metal on them. 4.60, so it's 0.5 more by going with the Apex system on it, because it's just a little heavier barrel. So my overall first impressions, usually I don't do reviews on markers when they first come out, but since this is 98 internals, I mean, you can't go wrong with those. The nice thing is, if you're just starting out, it's a $200 marker. Just by taking this out right here, this screw right here, you can switch it from, you have to use the dummy mag that comes with it, but you can switch it over just like that to a hopper fed. You just put a hopper on right there. It comes with the adapter in the box. So real easy to convert to make this into a hopper gun. So if you want to try out Magfed, because you've never done it before, but you're not sure you want to play that way all the time, this marker is a great starter marker because the lightweight, and you can put a hopper on it if you want, or you can play Magfed. So it's just a great all-around marker. They're going to sell a ton of these things because they're just really nice. So if you have any questions, ask below in the comments section, and thanks for watching Trails of Doom. See ya.